Tá. Hello. Hello, everybody. Good morning from Brazil. Is everybody there? Can you listen? Are you listening?
Yes, it works.
Yes, everybody? Okay. So if you could, sorry to ask you that, Leonie, can you put it on the presentation mode, maybe?
For me, it is presentation mode.
Here it's not. Here it just shows the slides.
Yeah. What do you mean with presentation mode?
It wasn't in the presentation mode. It was like a normal PowerPoint with the little ones there. Sorry to ask you that.
No,
you're not.
It's all good.
So it's just because sometimes here the presentation is not easy.
Now?
No, we are having something wonderful about Sweden, I think, not my presentation. Oh, there we go. Perfect, Leonie. Now it's perfect. Good. Thank you so much. Yes, so just a welcome to everybody. I can see we are 35 people in the room, which is great. We are arriving in week 3, a very important week in the process. So, buenos dias, bom dia a todos. Estamos entrando então na terceira semana. E eu vou fazer uma breve recapitulação, recap, de lo que temos hecho hasta ahora. So I'm going just to present a very short recap, and then we will be very active in the chat while Leonie and Parisa are presenting the methodology. Will be in the chat to translate, in order to translate as much as possible for all our students that do not speak English. Okay? And later on, we will try another tool that the ladies bring it, but maybe for next week. Okay, so next, Leonie, next. So basically, just to recap, have you listened to the interviews? Even if you are group 5, the idea is that everybody does this kind of active listening. It took a lot of preparation to do these interviews to make them as easy to understand as possible. Então, mesmo que você seja grupo 5, você teria que ouvir as entrevistas do caso de estudo Vila das Torres, porque essa é a metodologia de treinamento do active listening. The idea is that we could use the projects in Vila das Torres as an example to be taken as well to Dois Vizinhos case study. And that we'll be using, for example, Leonie's and Parisa's case studies in Sweden to see if we can profit from that. Ok? Então, mesmo sendo o grupo 5, mesmo sendo de outros grupos, tem que escutar e fazer este exercício. Essa escuta ativa traz muitas informações interessantes e vocês vão ver no decorrer do projeto. Next. Yes, we have been very active with the Moodle tools that have been, sorry about my typos there. When you do things quickly, just don't, you are not, perfection is not an issue. But anyway, Padlet has been proving to be a very useful tool. People are liking the looks of Paddle. People are liking to introduce informations in Paddle. And in Padlet, what you have is a brief description of important basic data and information for you to get acquainted with the projects and the ideas that are surfacing. So Las personas han usado mucho la herramienta que es el Padlet, es una herramienta colaborativa donde se presentan los 5 proyectos y se presentan algunas informaciones de background básicas para que puedas inserirte en el proyecto. De esta forma, todo el mundo tiene acceso a esta herramienta y puede leer lo que dice esta herramienta y así realmente darse cuenta que estamos hablando solamente de un proyecto en Curitiba y otro en Los Vizinhos que tienen la misma forma, el mismo intuito, ¿ok? La idea es que ustedes publiquen en Padlet. Si if you have any problems accessing or editing in Padlet, just let me know and I will share it with you. Okay, just keep information short. These are droplets of information. If you need to put more things, for that has been provided the Google Drive access. I've done a little button with an image, so you can access easily the group's Google Drive for you to put their information. Just try to make it organized so that everybody can actually profit from it. Tenemos todos ya acceso al Google Drive, pueden usarlo como quieran. El Padlet es más pequeñas informaciones, pero ya en el Google Drive pueden ir organizando las informaciones relativas a su proyecto de forma organizada, pero veo que está funcionando. Entonces, parabéns para todos ustedes. Muy bien. Next. So, como les decía, es muy importante que el caso de estudio, que encontremos matches, cómo nuestros proyectos pueden estar interrelacionados. En verdad, el proyecto 1, 2, 3 y 4 de Curitiba son un único proyecto. El proyecto de León y Parisa, Food Rescue Project, es un proyecto que tranquilamente podría ser traído a Curitiba. So if you see all the case studies provided, if you listen as well to the interviews provided by Leoni and Parisa and Rainy, you can find synergies between their projects and our projects here in Brazil, the case studies. So try to find those synergies because this is the way that we are actually implementing virtual exchange, enriching our experiences in an international level. Next. We have set up the WhatsApp groups. If they have been extremely active, I've been talking to Eric at 5 o'clock in the morning, Brazil, and with Aisha, and with Matilda in Ecuador. So that has been really worked a lot with Rainy and all the tutors. So let's keep the nice work on. With the WhatsApp facility, it has been possible to set up the asynchronous meetings. There is no need to use the Moodle to set up asynchronous meeting because we will be polluting the Moodle forums. Moodle forums is just to advertise important topical things. So let's keep the informal information online. Whatever is necessary, we will be uploading, or you can upload that into Padlet and the Google Drive. For example, ideas, photographs, Google Earth, circuits, whatever, put those into your Google Drive and let us know. Entonces les decía que las herramientas y los grupos de WhatsApp han funcionado muy bien. Las personas están comunicándose generalmente en inglés y con alguna traducción en español. Las personas de Honduras que han participado dicen que entienden el portugués escrito en WhatsApp. Entonces en ese sentido no hay ningún problema. Hemos usado esta herramienta de WhatsApp para marcar las reuniones. Se requieren muchos WhatsApp para que todo el mundo entre en acuerdo. Por eso no es interesante tener este tipo de comunicación en Moodle, porque toda vez Moodle nos manda mensajes y todos no necesitamos eso. Moodle es para upload informaciones ya más trabajadas, resúmenes de las reuniones y usando el Google Drive o Padlet y el forum para ideas, para cosas más puntuales. Ya para estas conversaciones muy informales y rápidas, usemos WhatsApp, ¿ok? Y parabéns. Ha funcionado muy bien. Yo estoy en por lo menos 4 grupos. Next. La herramienta del Word Cloud era para que a través de las entrevistas pudiéramos definir si llegábamos a un acuerdo de lo que era realmente importante que estas comunidades, esta gente nos estaba diciendo, especialmente en el caso obviamente de Curitiba, vi las torres y 2 vecinos. Y también ver lo que llama la atención a quien escucha. No todos han participado, continúa activo, va a quedarse en el Week 2, continúen colocando, escuchan las entrevistas, encuentran palabras, inspírense en lo que ya está allá y voten, ¿ok? Ya vemos algunas cosas apareciendo. I was just saying that the word cloud has been working, and some people have listened to the interviews and have voted, and we can already see some important issues that are surfacing, but I wouldn't pay too much attention at the size of the words, but all the words, because what is happening is that some people are putting in Portuguese and in Spanish. So let's try and find the words that keep repeating itself into this word cloud for us to find important issues, okay? But well done, it's working. And finally, next. What I'm going to tell you now is we are doing an invitation for you, for all of you that can make it. If you listen to all the interviews that have been provided by the end, you will see that we have asked all the students what they like and what they don't like to eat. And the eggplant issue is like a 99% rejection. This is the food that they say they hate it. So we have come out with an idea to do the eggplant challenge. I have invited a good friend of ours. She's a very famous chef here in Curitiba. She catered in a very posh area in Curitiba where her restaurant is, but she's also very much active into environmental and organic food issues, native bees and food composting. So her restaurant is a place of art, culture, and food culture as well. She's also a teacher in various areas of gastronomic events and whatever. So she is going to cook 2 recipes for the students, because our hypothesis, I have mentioned it to group 4, I think, is that maybe we, not only the children, but we at a certain point in our lives, we came in contact with some food. I go to Sweden, I go to Pakistan with Aisha, and then I say, well, maybe I don't like that. And then it stays forever. Well, maybe it's because your palate was not trained, maybe because we don't know exactly how to prepare these foods that are a bit unknown. So the idea is to show these children, or to find out if that's the case. Maybe if you prepare the food slightly different, you will understand that it's all right to try it again and again, because all food is actually precious. So we have called this venue the Eggplant Challenge. It's going to happen on a Thursday morning here in Brazil. You are all invited. Our idea is that we will use the Zoom for children to vote secretly. So we will not see, only the people from outside will see the votes to see if they like it or not, or if they like it, the sweet version of eggplant and the salty version of eggplant. She's going to cook a sweet version of eggplant, which I have no idea what it is. So that's a good way of actually bringing in as well and listening to what we've heard and trying to give a feedback. So that's the invitation. And I finish my introduction from here. And that's it. I think that's all. Leonie, is there any other? Yeah, I think that's it. So thanks all, and let's join Leonie and Parisa.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also congratulations that you have such an amazing project running, and yeah, actually something is happening. So that is great. I would hand over directly to Parisa, who prepared some slides, some introduction. And then I would just ask everyone who speaks fluent Spanish or Portuguese to help a bit with the translations and the chat. So everyone who has a bit trouble following in English can follow us along. That would be great. Okay, Teresa, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. First, I should say thank you to Patricia for the very nice recap and introduction of the projects that is happening there. And thanks to Leonie. I want to talk a little bit about some methods that we're going to use for this course when doing our projects. Let's see if I can share my screen with you. So I think it's not on slideshow now. Okay, can you see it?
We can see it and we can hear you. All perfect.
Okay, great. So before talking, our methods are backcasting and forecasting, but what we're gonna talk about is backcasting and forecasting. But what we're gonna use for our projects is actually backcasting. But it's good to know a little bit about forecasting as well. The most common planning methodology is forecasting for most businesses. How it works? It works in a way that it gather the trends, the current trends, and what is happening at the moment in the market, in the industries, and try to predict what will happen in the future, which is using it means that it uses trends from present and past, what happened in the whole market, and try to project them for the future and fixing problems to improve and create an expected future. So we know what would happen according to what is happening at the moment. But why we're not going to use it for our project? It's because for many businesses, it makes sense to use current performance and current trends in order to predict the future. But sustainable development is something else. Sustainable development is different than other industrial developments. The problems we are facing when we are moving into sustainability, in the transition into sustainable developments, the problems are complex and they demand new creative solution and innovations. So we need another approach that will help us into this transition. Sustainable development, sorry, I just have to change the... Okay. Sustainable development, continue for sustainable development, we cannot use the current performance because they are a part of the problems. Actually, what we do now is exactly what we are facing so many of the problems we are having. For example, climate change. We cannot continue the industries, we cannot continue with the development of the industries by what they are doing at the moment in the market. So we need another method to plan, to change the way we are moving. Here is where backcasting planning method comes to the rescue. Backcasting is a planning method that is very useful when the planning is happening in a very complex system and when the current trends are part of the problem. How to use backcasting method? The backcasting method is happening in a way that first we are creating a vision of the future, a desirable vision that we want, a vision of the future, where we want to be in the future. Answering the question, what I want or what do we want as an organization in the future? What do we want to achieve? We want to achieve sustainable development in the field that we are, or we want to achieve whatever which is the desired future for us. Which as you can see, the vision I want is here. Then we come back to the present time, which is the status quo, which is where we are at the moment. We try to see, okay, after we set the future goal, after we set what do we or I want to achieve in the future, we come back to see where am I now, or where we are now at the moment, and try to assess the situation we are in. Try to see what do we have in line with our goal, or what do we need to change to get into get to the way to get into our goal. Then try to figure out, after that, you see, step by step, we try to go back to the vision that we have. So we make the vision, we assess our situation, we try to plan strategies and steps by steps to get into the vision that we are. Answering the question, what do I need to do today to achieve the vision that I have for the future? If you want to summarize the steps that we have for backcasting method, first define a vision, define and establish a vision of success in the future. Second, assess the situation and collect the data from present situation. And third is analyzing this data. We need to see, okay, what is going wrong? How can we change the situation? And then fourth stage is establishing strategies to implement those changes to achieve the future vision that we have. If you think about it, we all have in our individual life, every day, we are having backcasting method in our lives. If you think about your life decisions, your education, your working decisions, what do we want? What do I want to get in the future, to get into in the future? We all have some visions in our life that we try to envision for our future, and then we step by step try to put some attempt on it to get there. For example, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a dentist, I want to be an urban planner, and then we try to set, okay, what should I do? I should study this, I should put all of my my focus on this, and then step by step we start to study, and then we try to get there into the future that we want. Another successful example of backcasting is Amazon. I think you all know about Amazon. They started as an online bookseller. They created a vision and used backcasting for it as the innovation to get there. The vision they have was taking over all aspects of consumer life in the future, and we can see that they got there. As we can see here, there are some more examples of backcasting in different fields. Backcasting is increasingly using in urban development and urban planning, in resource management, water management, energy management, and I put some future references for you if you wanted to read about them, that in what field and how they are using backcasting methodology. And as we can say, for this course, we also have different backgrounds, and we also have different urban planning, tourism management, sustainable tourism development and stuff. So we can all get together and then use this backcasting methodology to have a vision for the project, where we want to get there. And then all together, everyone can be aligned in a way that we have one vision together and then get there. Thank you for listening. And if there is any question regarding the method, I'm here to answer. Plus, we will have the presentation uploaded. We will upload it in the module, and I can put some more references. Pedro, I think you have a question. Yes.
Hi, my name is Pedro, and I study in UTFPR, of the campus of Dois Vizinhos. Thank you for your presentation. Actually, I have a doubt. What is the difference, the biggest difference between forecasting and backcasting? If I do actually understood right, the forecasting is the method that we use nowadays, but this kind of method is not sustainable available. So the backcasting is more of planning, is more of studying the actual situation to improve in forward to a better future. Is that the biggest difference between them?
Thank you for your question. Actually, both of them are being used at the moment, and also in the past, and hopefully in the future. But the main difference is to create for backcasting, we start from planning in the future. But in forecasting, we start from what do I have now? What is happening now? Then we plan. So we start with the present situation. But in backcasting, we start with the future goal, and then we get to the goal. That's why we say that in forecasting, the issue can be that when we are deciding about what do we have now or what do we do now and go for the future, some of the things that we do now are actually what is wrong, what is doing wrong, and cause the problem. I hope I can answer your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, are there any other questions for Parisa regarding backcasting? You can also type them in the chat if you feel uncomfortable unmuting yourself.
I would like to add something. I think that, for example, with forecasting, we see our reality, what we have right now, the resources that we have right now. And with that, we start thinking of the future, but that limits the possibilities that we could have. And if we are using backcasting, then we plan for the future, and then we figure out how to get the tools that we need to achieve those goals. Kind of forces us to look for different resources and methods to achieve those goals.
Exactly, it creates a more creative situation, and also it lets innovation happen.
It's a fantastic tool. Obviously, most people will feel a bit insecure, but
Was that a question, or
I couldn't hear.
Was that just background sound? Okay, then I think we should move on to our first exercise, which will be a bit more of an icebreaker now. So you get together in your teams. Some of you might have not met since last week. So I would like to invite you into your breakout rooms. I will open them shortly, and I would like you to work on one question, and I would like all the participants in your group to get a chance to say something on that. So the idea is that you in your team create a shared vision, because that is the essence of backcasting, that you have something to work towards. So I will open the breakout rooms shortly, and I will help you to move into your breakout rooms. Some of you have already put into them, but let's see how that works. You will also be able to choose which room you're going into, like you select a project that you have been working on in the last 2 weeks. And I would like everyone to think about what their dream outcome would be of this project. If everything is possible, like no constraints, no money constraints, everything is possible in this scenario, how would your project look like in the best case scenario? And every participant in your team should be able to raise their ideas, raise their vision of what happens to that project, and talk about it. Everyone gets a chance to say something, and then you finally summarize it in one shared vision. So I would like all the teams, every group, to write one sentence about the vision, the dream the idea of what they would like to achieve with their project, or what would be the best case scenario if everything goes well and everything can be implemented, how would be the status of their perfect project outcome. Does that make sense to everyone? Are there any questions? Your tutors will also be with you in the group, so they might help you if something is unclear, and you can always ask me to join you in your group to clarify. And I think,
Just,
yeah,
how long?
I would say we do that for 15 minutes. So we meet again sharp. Okay, great. I will open the rooms and try to move everyone who is not yet assigned.
Come é que é? Ligar uma pauta. Ah, eu vou ligar o áudio da Mônica e o áudio
I think yes, but I don't know about Lucas, if you can write, if you've been for the meeting that we had last Friday or not. Hi, Leonie. We only have 2 students here, and also one of the students doesn't have a mic. So we're trying to see, I'm trying to know, understand if he has been to the group meeting, because we had a group meeting last Thursday. I want to see if they are, you weren't there, okay. I just want to know if they know what is happening in their project. Noemi has been to our meeting, but I don't know where are our other students.
Those are all the students that were there, so I have assigned everyone.
Yeah, I think everyone has been assigned, but and I suppose everyone has been assigned to the correct group, right?
Yeah,
We
I
have,
think
I don't know how is it, but we have 12 people in a group or 9 people in other groups, but I think they're not the people. I'm checking the names to see if they are in our group.
I will double check with Patricia.
Yeah.
I don't know what is happening. I do think that most, because those are, I think, mostly engineering students that were supposed from Eloy's class to join group 3.
Uh-huh.
Let me just check, and
Yeah.
you can do the exercise whenever you want.
Yeah. So maybe we can, I can have like a brief introduction of the project for Lucas that hasn't been to the last meeting.
I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I leave you for now, and we'll check in later. It's only 10
Yeah.
minutes. Patricia, can you hear me? Welcome back all. I think everyone has returned now from their breakout rooms. Can you give me a thumbs up or indicator on how did it go? You can do a reaction in Zoom as well. Yeah, thumbs up. Great. Más o menos. Okay. I would like from each group one representative to either unmute themselves and say their vision or type it in the chat. So I would like to hear from the Secret Garden if they came up with a dream for their project. That would be group number one. Were they able to write something down? If so, please put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Any participant from the Secret Garden? Group number one.
Hello, Leone. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right, I put on the chat. All right.
You're posting in the chat, Sidalin.
You can present here. Come here, you can present. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, Sid really.
Yes, yeah.
Are and the key to open a secret garden of a possible world with the proper structure.
Thank you.
Well,
Literature book named The Secret Garden, and then
yeah. Well, we talked in the group chat, so I guess.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
the camera is there. The camera is there.
Okay, camera with you. So basically, the sentence we have is that we would hope we would have a door and a key to open a secret garden with a possible world with a proper structure, or like maybe a world where you can like learn stuff and like whatnot. So that would be our sentence, the project Secret Garden.
Thank you,
Did they hear
Sana.
anything? Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, perfect. So that is group number one. What about group number two? That would be the Edible City Ecosystem group. Is anyone feeling comfortable unmuting themselves? Or you can also post it in the chat, that's fine. Any vision you came up with?
Actually, professor. Actually, we didn't.
Everyone needs to mute themselves, otherwise we hear all the echoing. Now we can't hear you, Fernanda. I think Sana is still unmuted.
Vem aqui,
No, but I'm not even, the audio is not on.
Aqui?
Não, você tem que parar isso.
A câmera aí,
Normal.
ó. Aí a câmera.
Okay. Okay. My name is Fernanda. I'm from group 2. We didn't write one possibility, but I can read mine if it's possible. Try to translate. We imagine a route with a lot of beauty, cozy, safety, liberty, diversity for the community and also for all the city to use, something like this.
Thank you so
Is
much.
it too bold?
No, never.
No.
It's never too bold in sustainability. Thank you so much for presenting. Thank you. We will skip team 3 because they might be merging with group 2. We will see because they're missing a bit of members. But then I would hand over to group number 4, and that would be the retrofit community center. Anyone from group 4?
Maybe I can read our
Yes, please.
Our topics and our whole phrase that synthesize all of that. So we gather a bunch of topics together, thinking in backcasting for this project, and we group some of those ideas to write the synthesis. So our phrase became a safe space for the local community collaborate together towards a sustainable culture that includes a garden and a refuge for seniors and young students. Collaborating with the Secret Garden, create space for a program after school for students and seniors, maybe a cafe, growing native plants, and also lending library for books and seeds, sharing knowledge and food. So we're still writing because it keeps growing the idea, but I think the cern of this project is already written.
Thank you so much for sharing. That is amazing. And also how you visualized it. That's an awesome job. Very, very well done. And it's okay. We're in the beginning. We need those ideas. It needs to grow and go bigger, and then we can narrow down a bit later. So as Fernanda said, yes, we're going bold here. Okay. Then last but not least, group number 5. That would be the Water Food Project. Who wants to share what they've discussed in the group?
Le abrí el micrófono el Marco. Está fechado.
Okay. We together did the same thing that the other groups did. Talks about some ideas, then we wrote down some sentences, some words.
Maclovia, the sound is very terrible.
Very terrible. Maybe I write down on the chat, what do you think about?
Yes, okay, Juliana, the project intends to develop a proposal for adequate sewage treatment so that family farmer properties can receive tourists and produce organic food. Well, that's the statement. Good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. All right. We're not done yet. We still have almost 1 hour to go. And I hope that everyone kind of got into the mood of thinking towards solutions now. I would like you to continue with that work, but this time we will do it a bit differently. So I will try to trick your brain into thinking differently. We will continue looking for solutions, but in a reverse way. That is called reverse brainstorming. And why we do it, it's a different way of brainstorming to generate ideas. And sometimes we are so caught up in a construct that we want to really find the goal or the aim or the perfect solution that we cannot see anything. We are just like, we're stuck. And especially when we talk about these those very complex and big sustainability challenges that can happen quite easily. In reverse brainstorming, instead of asking, okay, what is the solution? So how do I solve or prevent this problem from happening? I ask, how could I possibly cause this problem? Or how can I make it even worse? And therefore we created a template for you. I'm going to share my screen again so you can see what I'm talking about. You will all be able to have access to this. You can see if it's more convenient if all of you in your group are joining the space, or if it's one person who's writing who then shares their screen. that is up to you. Okay, so each of the groups will have this template available, and you will be able, for example, team 1 moves down to the template of team 1, and team 4, for example, moves down to template 4. So each of you is working on the same page, but in different spaces. Okay, so this is my one. Please leave it. That's my template to explain. Okay, so you will start with the section define the problem. That means that can be one overarching challenge that you have with your project. For example, we would like to have more visitors coming to the secret garden, or we would like to have a good sewage system or enough toilets or access to water in another project. And then you move down to the orange, lighter orange, reverse the problem field. There you switch it around. So now sticking with the example of the visitors. So instead of saying we would like to have more visitors, the reverse problem would be we would like to have no visitors at all. No one should come there. Okay, so what do you do? What do you need to do that no one comes to your project? No one wants to visit. No one thinks it's attractive. You start brainstorming. This can be funny. This is not supposed to be serious. Everything is possible. You can write, well, we put a big fence around, or we will make sure that everyone who comes there has to pay so much money that no one can ever afford it. You start collecting as many ideas as you can come up with, and you can go really wild here, very crazy ideas. Then you move on from the dark orange to the yellow field again, where you reverse those ideas. Okay, so for example, now in the funny way, I said, okay, we build a big fence around the property. So, well, what would be the opposite? We try to make as many entrance areas as possible. It needs to be easy. It needs to be, for example, for free. There's no entry fee, or it's very low, or you get like a lower entry fee in case you have, a student or retirement kind of card or anything with you. So now we're talking serious ideas because we switched it around. And from those ideas, I would like you to identify some solutions for your actual problem. So we look back at the originally defined problem. So for example, in this case, we would like to have more visitors coming to our project. And then we're looking at summarizing those into potential solutions. And by doing this reverse brainstorming, going back and forth with being, okay, now we're looking at the opposite. We kind of try to aim to be more creative, or try to look at things that we maybe have not thought about before. I do think it sounds more complex than it actually is when you just try it out. But of course, if there are any questions right now, things that I need to clarify, then please let me know. If not, I will share the link for you to access the mural into the chat now, so everyone can copy that. And then I would open again the breakout rooms. You will be not alone again, you will be with your tutors. And I would suggest that maybe team 2 and 3 already come together, if that is okay. So the 2 participants from group number 3 join team number 2. Okay. I will open the breakout rooms and you just let me know if you have any questions.
Just a question, Leonie, do we have to open up accounts with the mural? You
should not.
Okay.
Is it giving you the?
I think it's asking me to, yeah.
No. Give me, yeah, I sent the wrong link. Please don't click on that link.
Yeah, no worries.
Can you try this one again, please?
Yeah.
And then it should work. Sorry for that, that was my mistake. All right, I open a group and you go.
Seu microfone está fechado, professora Patrícia.
All right, I think this is it. We just finished the final exercise for today. I would like to ask you, if you're on your computer, to choose an emoji. You can click on reactions. And how do you feel after the session, after 2 hours spending together? You can choose a reaction in the emoji button. Yes, someone has a rocket. Yeah, very nice. Okay, I will explain again, and you will have access to the templates we used today, and then I will explain again what you have to sort in which matrix. Maclove, I will get back to that. And yeah, you can continue working on the backcasting as well as the how, now, wow matrix. I'm wondering if Patricia would like to. Okay. Because I would assume that maybe we want to have a look out what's going to happen next week.
I think if there is an echo there, maybe Patricia can use her own. I see that Patricia's computer is.
Sorry about that. It's because the Polycom mic is not an actual laptop mic, so we get confused what to open, what to close.
No problem.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you very much for being here, all of you. We had at one stage about 45 people or more, so that it was a very nice methodology. Obviously, as I said before, for our students is something new, but slowly they will implement it, and I think it's perfect. Thank you so much to bringing this. So this is really virtual exchange happening. If it was something that we already knew, then probably it'd be nice, but it's so nice to get to know and bring to our students and to ourselves new ideas. For next week, I will say 2 things. Keep it moving. We have to meet within groups asynchronously. We have joined groups 2 and 3. We were going to do that later on, but we've done it now. So we can bring all the Uppsala students as well in Parisa to group 2, and we can join together. I would say let us spend some time in the week to repeat these exercises so that we can actually, okay. Oh, Eloy. That we can actually continue to practice these new ideas, but remember the project. So the project is what moves. The ideas of the projects are the ones that need to be really taken forward. So we can later on use this methodology in our own projects, real life projects, study projects, graduate, PhD projects, whatever. So, and keep the Moodle active, keep the Padlet active. And next week, what we'll be doing is actually to present some of these ideas to some members of the community. I'm thinking maybe we can bring Professor David and Julio and some students to the Green Office so we can present something. So let's try and organize at least 1 or 2 slides of the idea, but of our ideas. But I will post that in Moodle, so to keep you informed. It will.
Whoops, now you guys are gone. Hoppala.
What just happened?
I think accidentally Eloy closed the notebook and their transmissions.
Hoppala.
Because I was seeing Eloy like
Sorry
closing
about
down
that,
the.
just a technical problem. So anyway, thank you so much. I just closed the computer. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking part. Leon and Parisa, lovely, dynamic, and see you next Monday. But anyway, Parisa and Leonie will meet asynchronously this week as well. Okay, be nice if you could do that. And think about that Thursday, the eggplant exercise, because we need you to count the votes. We'll have translating facilities for the foreign students. Our children, they are dying to meet you. They have sent messages to Leonie, to Parisa, so you have to join somehow, if possible.
Thank you so much. Yes, sure. Thank you. Thanks to everyone.
Bye-bye.
So much.
Bye-bye, everyone. Good night week.